What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Mixtape Talks.
Hello.
The new look Mixtape Talks. I am your host, Jason. We have back from maternity leave,
Marissa.
Marissa. How do you feel?
I feel good. It feels good to be back. It's kind of weird adjusting to took baby girl to our first work meeting yesterday.
Yeah, she was
A
there.
little different, but
Crying and everything.
hey, she wasn't that bad. She could have been worse.
How is life adjusting to being a mom?
Girl, it's crazy. It's true. Like they say you don't know until it happens, and you just realize nothing else matters.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters but providing now for that little girl. And don't be soft.
I tell her all the time, don't be soft.
He's like, you can't be soft anymore, Marissa. You got a girl to provide for.
But that's an offline conversation.
Yeah.
But
No, but still.
I tell her, don't be soft. bro.
Mentality wise, it's like people's bullshit is not.
Yeah. We'll get into that. We also have Ziggy, and a lot of you guys know Ziggy. He does a lot of my content, well, all of my fucking content, and he shoots for the gyms, he shoots for mixtapes, newly resident for Meals by Mail. We wanted his input on this, so he is now an official staple on the Mixtape Talks. Welcome, Ziggy. How do you feel?
You made it.
And
You remind me of Napoleon Dynamite.
and many of you guys already know our fourth host. I got her through the draft. I had to trade some
2022.
picks. The 2023 draft or 2022 draft. I had to pick up, but you guys know Amaris from a multitude of things. Whether you've seen her on her live, Angie's live, Street Scholars, a lot of you've been filling in for Marissa while she's been gone, so I appreciate that. But this is the new look, you guys. This is the new team we're rolling with. We want to make sure we bring informative stuff to you guys, fun stuff to you guys, and I think just overall just topics that are trending, current event stuff, but also stuff that's going on in our life.
Yep.
Right? I'm not the most interesting man in the world, but I do got some shit going on. So first off, I want to thank everyone that sent in questions, because I have a lot of questions from you guys, and we'll get into that a little bit later. I just wanted everyone to kind of talk about what we're doing in 2023. Have you changed anything in 2023, Marissa?
Have I changed?
I mean, besides the baby, but do you have like a 2023 goal?
I just want to get back to life.
You
No,
want back to life?
I just want my normalcy back, like being able to go to work, do this, and not feel like I'm taken away from my family. So finding my balance is 20.
There's no balance, but go ahead. You're never going to find a balance
Yeah,
like that. Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of moms on Instagram lately, like posts on their videos, and they talk about how they're new moms and how they feel bad for not having as much drive as they used to before they had their children, because they had this Instagram presence and they were always like motivating and always like self-driven and wanting to do things. And now that they had a baby, they feel bad for their like followers or for their job, because they just want to dedicate all their time to this child. And so they're trying to find that balance back too. Do you find that difficult?
You know what? I feel like now more than ever, because I had a daughter, I want to show her that you can do whatever you want. So yes, I might not be as present on social media, but I'm not finding that balance. But being out there, but not too much, because I want to be able to go to the gym, come here, still raise my daughter, and be a present mom, not have to have a babysitter Monday through Friday. So
I love that.
It'll work out.
No, it is different though, because you're the actual mom, than what it is when I had to deal with it. I'm the dad, so I can come and go reasonably as I please, and not have to breastfeed and do stuff like that.
Like on my way here, I was pumping. Like right after here in the car, I'm pumping and driving.
So there is a difference, but I think that what I love is that I felt like you haven't lost a step. You haven't lost a step. You haven't lost the drive for wanting to continue to build this empire we're building here and everything. What about you, Ziggy? You got a 2023 goal? It could be cheesy, bro. It's okay. Like, oh, new year, new me type shit.
No, not even that. I'm just trying to grow my company and just make it bigger than what it was last year and get more known. But
I mean, you've done a pretty good job of building. I mean, when I first met you through Dre, you were just shooting at Rancho, right?
Yeah.
Now you signed on and done videos, and for a lot of people, has that been like a change for you or a mindset shift for you?
oh, definitely, hell yeah! Like it made me like love what I'm doing even more, because I'm like, dang, people actually like, they mess with me, they fuck with me. So like that made me realize like, dang, I guess I am kind of good at this, because I doubted myself for years about this, and then finally when I like actually like jumped into it completely, I'm like, damn, this is it. So now I just want to continue growing it. And yeah, like in the 6 months that I've done this, it's crazy. So I can just imagine what another year.
It's only been 6 months, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, it's only
Since you
been
decided
6
to go
months since you've been
full-time?
doing this.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
6 months. And you
have
also,
to go
I mean,
full-time.
Amaris too, you shoot. Don't try to hide in the corner over there. You did a transition yourself.
I did do a transition myself. I think you know what it is I know you said you can be cheesy, but I think I've come to the point in my life where it's like every year everybody's like, okay, this is my year. This is my year. And it's like, no, it's not. Like any year could have been your year, right? And it's like it's just another day, really. Granted, it's a fresh new start, but sometimes I feel like that's a cop out for all of us, even for myself. It's like, okay, the new year, I'm gonna start it. But I think for me, I think is just being consistent, like staying consistent, because a challenge of mine is staying consistent. Like I'll start and I'll like get this, and then I'm like, okay, I got it, and I get comfortable. Do you know what I mean? So I think that my goal now is just to never be comfortable and just to keep staying consistent and just learning. I'm learning a new, like being a trainer, obviously starting the year off doing that.
Where are you
I'm
training
a
out of?
student.
What
South Bay,
facility?
Chino Hills.
There we go.
And I'm a student all over again. So every time I step in that gym, I'm learning something new every single day. And it's pretty humbling because I think I did something for so many years and I felt like I mastered that. And then I got bored. Do you know what I mean? And I only got bored because I let myself get bored. So now I picked up a new challenge and I'm learning and I think it's great. I love being there and I learn every single day. So
How do you like it so far? Because I've been seeing you on your stories and
Yeah.
And you're the early riser, right? Like you're there at
Yeah.
like 6 a.m.
sometimes I'm there 5 a.m. and then PM too. Yeah.
is it
I'm kind of there all.
is it what you thought it would be, or is it different when you got into it? Personal training is what I'm talking about.
Yes, it kind of. I mean, it definitely has its challenges, right? Because you go in and you're just like, okay, I got this, and then you realize like, okay, you start noticing your challenges, and then I talk to people too, and so like I kind of see how they do things, and like I said, I learned something new every single day. Where I was like, oh, I thought I had it, and it's like, no, you didn't. Like I have to just, like I said, I'm learning new things every single day. But one thing that I am happy is that I do love it. Because I didn't know, like I said, I hate relearning things. Like if I'm not good at it right away, I just like I get frustrated with myself because I want to be like perfect and I want to be an expert at everything that I do. And so because it is something so new for me and learning it and just kind of knowing I'm a baby, you know, I'm coming in there so new, but realizing that I love it and that I know I'm like, okay, I think I love it here. Like I got this and I know that I'm going to just try and be consistent in that area is good.
Yeah, I think both of you guys had like the imposter syndrome
Yeah.
in the beginning. Like even you, when I was speaking with you about potentially training, you had always questioned yourself, like, can I do it? Should I do it? And I'm like, dude, you do it on your Instagram
1,000%.
already.
Yeah.
And then with Ziggy, you were shooting videos, right? But it wasn't until you got the validation, I feel, from everyone else that you're like, oh, I am able to do
Yeah.
that. Do you
Yeah,
feel
because
like
I started doing pictures like 9 years ago, and it was an on and off thing. And then like a big factor that why I would quit was because my baby mama didn't want me doing it, or she would have issues with me doing certain stuff. So like I would always just like quit on myself, or I'm like, dang, this, or like I'll try again, and I wouldn't get no no shoots or nothing. So I'm like, oh, maybe this is not for me. But once I started seeing like people hit me up, or like people would tell me like randomly like, oh, somebody wanted a video, but they showed me one of your videos to go based off of, and I was like, dang, that's
Ooh.
Yeah, that's dope.
so
you've,
that
you've had that happen a couple times.
yeah, so that's when
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
Okay.
I'm doing something right, you know.
Going off of what you said where you were trying it and then you weren't getting like the business and you're like you almost wanted to stop, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the challenge that a lot of us need to overcome, because you're going to face that and so many people give up, and that's why they don't succeed in what they do.
Yeah.
But it's the people who, even when it's hard and business sucks and maybe you don't have very many clients or things that month, you just got to keep going and don't give up and keep going, and then obviously eventually it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
I know, I feel that too.
Yeah.
Even with this, where it's like I thought it was gonna be great, like okay, so many people, and then you realize like, okay, those 300 people went to like 50 people, then went to like 20, and then it's like, oh shit, what just happened? Like what did I do? But it's not. You just Yeah,
that's
I'm
how I
learning.
was. I was like, man, like like when nobody was hitting me up. I think in December it's usually slow for everybody.
Yeah,
So like I
That's
wasn't
what
getting
it was.
yeah.
It started in a slow burn.
And and like nobody was hitting me up. I'm like, dude, what am I gonna do? You know. But I was like, nah, I can't quit now because like there's no other option right now. And yeah, it's picking back up. So I'm like glad that I haven't quit.
Yeah,
And
I think you hit it on the head is consistency. Even when times get tough, it's being consistent. And we're in a very niche market where it's like personal training is a luxury, videography,
It's
if
a
you need it for
luxury.
business, it's a luxury.
Yeah.
So I mean, even me getting tattoos, right? I always like reference tattoo artists because I would never get a tattoo from a guy that doesn't post himself getting tattoos,
Yeah.
right? So the moment your business slows down, you start to slow down on your Instagram or social media when that's your biggest marketer, and then you're afterthought to me because now there's a new trainer, sorry, that popped up, and you're
And
like,
they're being consistent.
and they're being consistent. And I tell anyone, if you ever want to get really great at something, just be consistent. And it's, you're great when you're consistent, even when you're not getting the views, the likes, the people coming in. It's just the consistency that all you need is that 10% of people that are your followers or whatever to see what you're doing
Yeah.
for you to really be able to have your business grow. And then you scale it from there and you scale it from there.
And that is so true because I think we all have this number attachment to us, right? So we post a video or we post content and we're like, oh shit, this video only got like 100 likes and the other one before had like 10,000. So then you're like, should I just archive it and take it off? Because right, but really it's like, no, you just stay consistent, keep posting. Doesn't matter if it gets the views, if it gets the likes that you want, because eventually it's all just going to pay off as long as you're just consistent.
That was one of my big
Yeah.
issues because I would post and I wouldn't really get no like a love on it. But I would hear people like, "Oh yeah, I seen your video." And I'm like,
Isn't
"Oh,
that-
so you're
You're like, oh,
watching
why
me?"
didn't you double
yeah,
check it?
I'm
Yeah, you're like,
so
what?
you've seen
And
this.
we have to detach ourselves from the number though.
Yeah.
We really
Yeah.
do.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, I had someone come up to me and they're like, "Oh, I saw the photo shoot that you did with the Christmas one or whatever," and I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like they don't even follow me though.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"Did you like it? Did you?" I mean, granted, obviously you don't have to follow me for that. You can follow my new JTAM Fits page.
Yeah. Some people are just looking. There's people looking, you know?
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, but going back to what you said, Ziggy, because I mean, I asked my audience questions, and one of them kind of hits on something that you brought up with your baby mama. Does she mind if I call her baby mama? Ex, whatever. She listens to
I
the
don't even know
podcast.
if she's gonna see this.
She's been titled.
And this I've seen a lot, and I want to get your guys' view on it, especially us three that are in relationships. Amaris, you could give me your point of view on
I
it
will.
too.
I'm the single one, but it's
No, it's good because
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you ever dated a trainer, this is one. So this is a trainer. I'm not going to say what his Instagram handle is, but he told me that he's dating a girl right now, and he feels like she's holding him back from his business because she does not want him training any females or women.
she's absolutely holding him back.
Yeah, you can run.
Absolutely.
Get
Yeah.
out.
Get out of there.
now.
Especially
Right now.
being a male trainer, like that's
You're
your
splitting your
clientele
money
are the
in
women.
half. Yeah, exactly. And you're saying no to half of the money that's on the table.
I guess you don't want that new bag.
1,000%.
I mean, is the advice is
It's a
just
her
so
thing.
the advice would just be like fucking break up with her?
Well, first of all, it would go into like, why doesn't she want you?
It's a her thing.
It's a her thing.
a
Like,
her thing.
is your guys' relationship is clearly unstable if she doesn't trust
Or
you.
were
That's
you
another
bad in
thing.
the past? Like,
Right.
is it a you thing because you
1,000%.
fucked up before?
Because obviously she doesn't trust you for a reason. So
Yes.
what have you done in the past? And I think I go back to this though. Like for you've been in the industry for so long, and you're around women all day.
That's another question
You're
that people always
going.
ask. Yeah.
You're like, and you're on everyone's Instagram. You're giving love. Like you're just you're being active on social media. But I think with you also, you're constantly showing your wife, and you're constantly showing how much you love her, and how you know what I mean. You don't leave any area for her to really be insecure.
Yeah, there's no gray.
There's no great. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, for me personally, it does go back to like what you said, like, where's the relationship at currently? Right. And for us, we've been dating since I was a trainer, and I was a grimy trainer. I was a corporate trainer, and that was like feasting when if you're a personal trainer. And so she was with me through there, and obviously we had our hiccups, but I think because I've been doing it so long, and I've had my faults, but I do understand that the grass isn't greener, right? And then I think it's an age and maturity thing. But for the most part, I feel like whoever you have in your life right now, like you, myself, that's gonna depict how far you get in life.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, facts.
Whether that be that person, I don't care about the jealousy stuff, right? But If you're working late nights, are they there to support you? If you're not getting business, so they say, fuck it, go get a 9 to 5, because how are you going to pay these bills? Are things going well and you need to invest more money into scaling your business? Are they a part of that? Are they your biggest advocate? Are they hindering you? And for me, luckily, you know, and again, my marriage is not perfect. On Instagram, we only do the highlights, right? But one thing that we're consistent on is the vision that I've had and the support that she's given me, whether it be good or bad. We've had some bad times, COVID. Right, she would ask me like, "What do you think about the business?" I'm gonna make it work no matter what.
Yeah.
But it was never like, maybe you should go get another job.
No.
Yeah.
She was like, we can make it work.
Right.
And she even said, we can make it work on my salary. Like, we're good. Just focus on what you have to do, which is a huge stress reliever for me. But going back to his question, without getting into too much detail because we don't know it, I would just say, yeah, you got to break up with her.
Yeah.
You got to break up with her.
And especially if it's new, like we don't know the backstory. Like, is it new thing? Is it, you know, is it
Right.
a new fling? Is it worth ruining your business?
Yeah, I'm like an old guy that's married. Like, how long have you been with your girl for, Ziggy?
I think like 6 months.
For like,
Better get it right.
Yeah.
You better get it right.
hey, they live together.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
you do?
Yeah, they live together.
Ooh.
And
Yeah, we moved pretty fast, but it was crazy how like it just felt so natural. Like it felt so good. And another reason why I feel so good about her is because she's so supportive about everything.
Yeah,
like
at
even
that
when
last event, she's been at all
yeah,
your
she's
events.
always
Yeah.
with me. She like if she has the time, she'll come with me because obviously we don't spend a lot of time, even though we live together and we both work at the same gym. Like we don't
busy.
really, we're busy. But so like she's been so supportive. Even when I tell her like, damn, like it's slow, like I don't know what to do. She's like, just chill, like it's gonna
Great.
come, you know. Don't worry about it. And she's just always been there. So that's why it's like shout out to her, man.
hey, why don't you give her a handle?
Oh, I love
She's popping
that.
her IG. That's why.
He's like,
Nice,
no.
Chantelito.
And so, like the single perspective, if you started dating, and please don't date anyone at the gym, but
Please
if you
don't do
Oh,
that.
you started-
you guys know me better than that.
I know, but we always think we know somebody though, and then we're like, oh,
it's like the normal. Okay, let me get your name, your email, and then don't date anyone at the gym.
yeah. You're signing that in the contract as well.
You know what? But the good thing is I feel so old at the gym too because everyone is so young. I
Yeah.
feel too, right? And so literally, I'm like, yo, I'm old enough to be your mom. Like I said that.
I mean,
like,
come on,
it's
Amherst, you're not-
crazy.
you're not-
No, I am. But no, that's yeah, no, that's not going to be an issue with me. Plus, I stick to myself too. I'm cool with
Yeah.
everyone I talk, but yeah, no. But from an outside perspective, if I started dating somebody,
And he was like, dude, I don't want you training men. I don't want you interacting with a lot of men on social media. Because that's the common thing we hear from other trainers and the relationships is like, dude, you showing too many guys too much love on Instagram. And I believe there is like there is a balance to
There
it,
is
but
a
it depends
balance,
on what you
yes.
do. Because I do a lot of fire emojis, a lot of heart emoji, a lot of peaches.
Yeah.
But you know me, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
I do
I
it
know
to
you.
hype you
Yeah.
up. But I think there was a girl trainer that was telling me her boyfriend's not in the industry whatsoever, and he's on every girl's.
Yeah,
you know,
see, that's weird.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I see.
No,
I
yeah.
don't agree with that either.
Okay.
I could see the wrong in that of where she's coming from. But I think if I started dating somebody and he told me, yeah, I'm not allowed to train men, I can't. That's an insecurity. That's what is wrong. What have I done?
Yeah.
I've obviously we just started dating, so I haven't done anything to for you to not trust me. But yeah, that would be an issue. I think for sure.
All right, so bro, break up with her.
Let her go.
Yeah.
Break up with
Let
her.
go.
This is actually a good one too, and I don't know if you've ever had one, but it's where can I find a mentor? Have you ever had a mentor before in anything you do, Emrys? Like as far as like, as I know you do brows and training, or have you ever sought one out?
No, I've never had a mentor. I've been trained, obviously I've invested money in trainings and things like that, but I've never had anybody like mentor me.
Why?
I don't know why, honestly, because there are times where I'm just like, when I realize, for example, let's say when I did brows and then I took the class and then I started just doing it. You're not you're not perfect right away. You there's always something more that you can learn. And the girl I did take my training from, she's always like, if you need anything, think of this as a mentorship. Like, ask me questions, like whatever you need, like just hit me up if you need extra training, do it. And I realized I haven't, and I do need her help, and I do, because I'm like, I know you're busy, I don't want to, but so that's definitely something that I've actually have been thinking, like, I know that I'm training now, but I want to have somebody who, like, to coach me and to help me be better, because all of those things do help. You need that,
Right.
Like accountability.
you need, I work well with accountability, and just, you can always learn, right? Like, you're not gonna be even if you're at the top, you're making at your business, right? You're a CEO and you're doing great. There's always still something more that you can learn from. So it's always great to have a mentor, always great to have somebody who's even more successful than you, because it's going to help you reach your goals even faster and better. So, that's something I do want to look into, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've had
in different areas of my life.
I think I've had mentors, but not like the traditional, like, I pay you to be my mentor. But there's people that I've looked up to.
Yeah.
Oh, you worked with.
That I've worked with, that I've had conversations, and they've kind of told me a little bit about what direction to go with and stuff like that. I myself have had like maybe one mentor that I consider a mentor that I still talk to today. But for the most part, I can definitely see the importance of it. We are kind of, we mentor the trainers, and it is easier.
Which I love.
Yeah. Right. And it is easier. And that's why we like to group them together, because it is easier when you have all like-minded people. And
Yeah.
it sounds
You're
so
bouncing ideas
cliche,
off of each other, and
but it's like when you're in a room with people that are all trying to go towards the same goal as you, it's easier for you to break out of your shell, because you're not embarrassed because this person's doing TikTok, Instagram, whatever with you.
Yeah,
And
even
you
having
push them out.
conversations with you and Sin, like, all of those things help so much. Like, sitting in with, when they had the training
workshop, yeah.
all of those things help so much, and it's like you realize you definitely can't do it alone, but when you're in a group or a community that's all trying to reach the same goal, it helps so much. It does.
You ever had anyone, Zig?
Yeah, definitely Dre. I mean, he's the reason. Like, he would always tell me even back then, like, dude, use my camera, like, come shoot me, like, practice with me. And then finally he's like, here, man, you're gonna do this, you have so much potential. And then after that, I just went to him for questions about business, questions about everything, because I kind of looked up to him, because he was, obviously we're the same age, but he was in a different level than me. And I'm like, damn, like, I could be doing that too, why not? So, like, I'd always go to him for questions, even till now. Like, even with video stuff, I'm like, hey, how do you think this looks? Or how do you think this would look, And, like, so he's a big mentor. But even, like, how she's saying, like, talking to you guys, it's like, I'll ask you guys questions here and there. And, like, I see that as mentorships too,
it's kind of like your circle, right?
It is.
Like,
Yeah.
you should be getting mentored by the circle, the people that you're with all
the time,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, no, but I love what you said. It's like, why not me?
Yeah.
And that's what I always tell people is like, when they're coming in, they're like, I want to be a trainer, but I don't know. Why not? Like, there's people that that are doing it right now.
Yeah.
And that is so true.
But you need that mentality of like, why not me?
Yep.
And then I think once I adopted that mentality, and you see people rolling around in G-Wagons or whatever. And to be honest with you, I don't really put my success like a number as far as material things. We all want them.
Right. Yeah.
But I know from experience, like working at the gym, is like I never really looked about how much money I was making. I know if I just put my all into the trainers, into the business, that number would grow.
Yeah. Keep
So
your head down. and
keep
just
your head down and grind. I think too many people are like, okay, well, I've been in business for 2 years and I don't have XYZ. When maybe your journey is going to be 3 years or 4 years if that person did get it.
Yeah.
Kudos to that person if they got it in the first 2 years, but you don't know the whole story.
Everybody
Exactly.
has their time too. There's like literally a time for you, and maybe it's not ready for you to get there because there's still so much more you can learn,
You weren't ready for that position yet. Like when it's handed to, or when that opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
you
you
weren't-
weren't
because
ready for
maybe
it.
your mentality or like whatever was given to you, you wouldn't have even been able to handle it.
Yeah.
100%. That's what I always think. Too.
And I
It's like
learned that
depends.
because like now how like everything's going like pretty good for me. I'm like, okay, it's because like I'm in a better mindset. Like back then, like I was like dealing with like depression or dealing with like just all kinds of issues. Like my mind wasn't there for this business, So I'm like, oh, okay, I understand now, Even though, because I'm a super impatient person, so I was always like, man, when is it gonna be me? When is it gonna be me? But you can't think about it like that. You got to be patient and just wait till it's your time.
Yep.
I think a lot of it is because of social media too. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I've learned in my short stint of social media and really being in it is that everything is not what it seems.
1,000%.
So when I see someone that's like, oh yeah, man, I got this penthouse in LA and I got this G-Wagon, I'm like, what is it? What's really
Yeah.
yours?
Yeah.
And what's
Yeah.
not yours? Because there's been a time where I took a picture next to a G-Wagon. I was joking, right? And someone's like, "Oh yeah, hey bro, big up, congratulations!" Like nonstop, because I put no context to it. It was just me with a G-Wagon, right? But
You knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
It was for the
A
content.
little social media that I know.
You needed it for your vision
Right.
board.
So it was like future goals, but everybody was, I mean, I could have left that up and been like, hey guys, you know, if you're looking to get a G-Wagon like me in short amount of time. And that's why like on my Instagram, I always tell people like, always ask for receipts. I'm really big on that because everyone I feel now is a social media influencer. And I feel even if you have 500 followers, if people are following you, they're listening to what you're saying, you are an influencer.
Right.
Right. That's why I do agree with the title. Like you are influencing people in some way. But I try not to speak out of the realm of what I haven't accomplished yet.
Yes.
Right. I don't have $1 million house. Well, now $1 million house is a shack, but I don't have it. You know,
Facts.
I don't have the house in Valor. I don't have that. I'm in turn working to get there. I work with people like that. But
Yeah.
there's wherever you are in your life, I can help you advance. You know, because one of the questions is, I see you mentor. How could I apply? You can't apply. I don't have any openings for mentorship because
It's your trainer.
it's my trainers.
Yep.
So become one of my trainers and
And you get unlimited
and you
supply.
get unlimited supply. Please see Marissa. This is a good one too because I've never been, so I'm always interested. Are you going to Coachella this year? What do you think of the lineup? I've never been.
Me either.
I've never been to Coachella. I've always wanted to. And this goes
been.
back to anyone that wants to do something, do it, because now I regret it because now I feel I'm too old to go to Coachella. I feel like I'm too old to go to Coachella and I don't want to pay it. The ticket is $650 for the weekend.
I just wouldn't
Yeah,
pay
no.
$650 for the weekend. I
You've been to Coachella though, right?
I have.
Yeah.
Do you love Coachella? Was it fun?
So it just depends on the level that you're on, right? Like I've been to, so Coachella's fun, but I think I even had more fun at the parties at Coachella.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like the parties, because when you get there too, it's kind of crazy. It's chaotic. There's so many people and I can only imagine what it's going to be like this year too. But, yeah. And a lot of people are just there for the photos.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's very,
Clout chasing.
yeah, which is great. It's great. But I just wouldn't,
No.
I mean, is that a bad thing
it's
though?
not.
Like,
Yeah, no.
If you're there
Because
to,
if I were to go,
if
of
you're
course,
there,
I'm gonna
if
be
you're
like,
there to have a good time, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to pay $600 something just to go take photos.
Right, but I've heard that before. People like, you're not really here for the music. You're just here for the
But
picture.
no one's there for the music.
But you're there for the experience.
Yeah.
So it's great for you. But I feel like you too. Like yeah. You're just kind of like old. Like, and sometimes I get grumpy in large crowds and I get anxiety.
That's the ultimate old
I'm just gonna tell you, I'm old, like the large crowds make me grumpy. I hate waiting in lines now.
She's like, "Get away from me,
All of that
hooligan."
stuff. That's why I wouldn't do it. Like music, great, but I'll live stream it and have a drink. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
But the parties are fun. I do like to go to the parties, but just large crowds in lines.
yeah, I feel like my
cannot
23-year-old
do
self
it.
loved Coachella.
You went, right?
Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
wild. And I mean,
That's
but
what I'm saying. It depends
yeah.
on the level you're
Yes.
on.
Hey, you all
If
know,
you're
you all
young,
know
you're gonna have a
old
great
Marissa.
time.
oh,
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, but like you said,
If you're young, you're gonna have a
Okay,
great
let
time.
me rephrase this. What is young to you?
Anything under 30 is young to me.
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Too.
Okay. So would you say if like a 50-year-old guy wanted to go to Coachella,
With
that would be
his-
acceptable?
A 50-year-old?
Yeah.
With
Are
his,
we
like,
in VIP?
21-year-old?
Do we have our
With his
own, do we have
21-year-old
like what do we have a section? What's going on
He
here?
has a,
You know what I mean?
he has a general admission ticket because that's what I bought. No, I'm kidding. He has a general admission ticket and he's just going for the experience. 50 years old.
I'm sure you're gonna have a great time, but I don't want.
I don't think he's there for the gram though. I think he's probably
well-
genuinely there for the
to
experience.
what I'm saying-
experience
for
it.
the
Yeah.
experience.
I'm like,
Yeah.
is there a point where you outgrow festivals? Like, is there like an acceptable age? Like, could I still go to Encore Beach when I'm like 50 and like get a cabana? Is that cool?
If you're still
happens all the
shredded,
time.
right?
And
Bro,
at the,
that ain't
at
never
the end of the day, just do you want to have a good time or
Yeah.
not? You know what I mean? Are you there for a good time? Like you're there for everybody. I think at Coachella especially is there for a good time. Like
Right.
they just want to be there and experience it. You know, because it is an experience. There is a lot of cool things to like see and do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, I think what I mean when I say I'm too old to go to Coachella, I'm like you. Like, I don't want to be in a crowd, bro.
Yeah.
I'm in bed by like fucking 10.
that's me. That's me.
No,
Yeah.
So
I don't want to do any drugs right now.
listen, even lately, Angie and I, the past two times we've been to Vegas together, let me just tell you. So, and we went to the Raider game. Let's say, I'll just talk about this last time. And we went to the Raider game. And obviously, when you're at a game, you're drinking, right? You're there, you're having fun. We were drinking, having a great time. And then we went and had dinner. We're like, okay, we're going to go back to the room, get our stuff ready. And then we'll take a little nap and then we'll go out.
Nap turns into a
Listen.
The legendary Vegas nap.
Both times, even when we went to Vegas for 3 days, we didn't go out once. Oh, we went out one time, and then 2 days we fell asleep. And then this last time, so we were like, okay, we're gonna take a nap. Went to the room. We woke up at like 2 a.m. We're like, well, we missed that. We just couldn't do it. We were too tired. We took a nap. I'm like, dang, I don't have it in me anymore to be in Vegas.
Dude,
to go out.
Those are my favorite stories is when you go with Angie and you guys go, okay, we're not going to drink, right? No, we're going to be responsible. And you're like, okay.
We're like,
and then it shows you guys in the game. And my favorite one is like, you guys went to Vegas and you guys like drank. I think it was at the pool. And then the next slide was all this room service. And like you guys were in bed eating, I think we were eating like chocolate cake or something. I'm like,
we didn't go out that night either. We went to sleep. We did not go out. Yeah, but that's what happened. We got
sounds like
all
a
the
good
room
time to me.
service
right.
and just knocked out next day. But yeah, I think you just reach an age where you can either do daytime or nighttime.
Well, I was pissed last time we were in Vegas. Like, I'm always like, I want to get fucked up with Jay. Jay's always like, not drinking. And now I'm pregnant in Vegas. And all of a sudden, Jason wants to party. And I'm like,
I was fucked up in Vegas.
I was like, oh, what? Like,
I was
now?
bad in
Really,
Vegas.
bro? Like,
and then you that was at the time when you were there with Angie, and then you were bottle
bro,
service.
It was horrible because then my wife and I, like, we're just gonna go support our train because we went for like nationals, right?
Yeah.
And then one guy's like, oh, I got a free excess night swim, I got a cabana. I said, cool, let's go. I'm not gonna really drink. And then we got a bottle of Casamigos, right? And they're like, take a drink out of the bottle. And then once it hit my lips, dude, it's
just
just
couldn't
like
stop.
That's like
taste.
me. Have you ever seen Alvin and the Chipmunks? And when
Yeah.
they drink their Starbucks and they're bouncing off the wall? That's me. I'm like, hey, I'm only going to have one drink every time. I have that one
and
shot.
then it doesn't stop.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I
But, like,
can't
another
I can't
shot.
just
I
have one
have to
drink.
drive my car somewhere so that I have to drive home and I won't drink. And then all of a sudden, I'm this person who's like, I'll Uber home. I'll get my car in the morning. And then I wake up at home like, dude, where's my car? Like, forget
Yeah.
idiot.
Bro,
Yeah,
no,
I'm the same.
Yeah, that I will make that up this
I
year.
hope so.
But I mean, for you, like you're now a mom, I guess. Do you feel like you couldn't go to Coachella or go to like a music festival?
So I feel like we've been to Burning Man. So like,
Oh, you did?
yeah. So I've
You
been
were a little
I've been
while.
to
So
Burning Man.
she be on shroud.
No, but I mean, like, so to me, like, that's a different level of an experience
Yeah.
or actually like immersing yourself in a culture.
Right.
Right. Because a lot of the people there aren't there for the gram.
Right.
Like,
Well, that's turning into now. It is for the ground.
yeah, but I would say
But
like,
back in the, yeah,
it wasn't.
it
So when I went to Burning Man, it was 10 days. I did not have my phone and like, peace out, y'all. So,
I love that.
Till she
yeah.
came back, her pupils were so big. I was like, Marissa, are you good? And she's like, she was like, why are you floating? I was like, Marissa, chill.
Who are you?
A whole
Are you?
different person. She's just
She's
floating
like,
in
am I
the
really
air.
here?
Like,
No, real shit. Her and her husband like to go like me and my wife. We like to vacation. Like I'm going to Hawaii. I'm not moving. Her and her husband like we're gonna go scale the mountains of Ecuador. I'm like that's not a vacation, right?
we're like Machu Picchu.
Yeah. So then she's like, dude, I want to try ayahuasca, and I was like, listen, bro, I know one person that did it, and they've never been the same. I
And
said,
he's
I
like,
need
"Please
you to
don't
come
do it.
back
I need you to
normal.
come back
Oh
to work."
shit.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot
I had
of
a
those
friend-
things too.
I had a friend that did it.
Never be different, but I've heard crazy experiences.
No, he like my friend went off, did ayahuasca, never came back, right? And then he came back, I think like 5 years later. Even his family's like, dude, when are you gonna come back? And now he's like an astrology reader, and he was like worked at a bank, made good money. I can't even talk to him anymore. I mean, and he was like my best friend. Not that I can't talk to him, but he's just on a different level.
Yeah.
and he
That's crazy.
attributed it to like an awakening when he took ayahuasca.
a whole different frequency.
And so when Marissa was like, oh, yeah, Jay, I'm gonna go take some ayahuasca, I said, dude.
Okay, but on the record,
like,
I never did.
I'm sorry. That's an
We were
off the record
talking-
conversation
no,
that
I'm
we
just
should
saying.
have had.
But we were talking about it. It's like one of those things like, do you want to do, if you're, I've always been the type of person, if you're in the right environment with the right type of people
Yeah.
and you want to experiment, and you're responsible, then hey, you go to work the next day, good for you. Like,
Yeah.
you can't judge somebody on how they release their stress.
Yeah.
No, I think now it's okay. I mean, it's always been okay to talk about those things. I always feel like if you're a fucking loser and then you're
Yeah.
doing it, then
Oh,
it's
yeah.
bad. But like most of my old clients that I had, they were big on shrooms and smoking.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and they're all
Microdosing.
they're all
Yeah.
entrepreneurs. So it wasn't anything that was like, oh, hey, do you do this? Like,
Yeah.
I don't really smoke. I sent Marissa something. I said, hey, once you're good to go breastfeeding wise, like I'm gonna allow you to be the first first one to like really get me
Me and
high. 'Cause
Gil
I've
have so
never,
much fun with that.
yeah, I've never done that. So I mean,
You've never smoked
I've never
weed
smoked
in your life?
No, I did it one time, but I think I was so drunk. I don't
You don't remember?
No,
Yeah.
never.
I don't like it. I don't like being down and just chill.
See, it just depends.
I see.
I'm
I used to smoke a
super-
lot. I don't anymore. But I haven't smoked in a long time. But during COVID, especially, I love how I just get into this like. I'm not even there anymore, and my artistic side comes out, and that's when like I create. So it just depends. But there are like sativa I could never smoke because I'm paranoid and everyone's looking at me and what's going on. And indica, like chill, hybrid's cool, but I don't smoke anymore. But yeah, I get very paranoid sometimes.
See, and I was more of like a chill smoker. Like, okay, I've had a long day. Like, I just
Yeah.
want to like
Uh-huh.
chill. And
I mean, that's what I
I
use
love
hookah
it,
for.
but-
I use hookah for that. Like hookah, I smoke with that, and that's kind of like in my backyard. I kind of set it up and chill. But no, I got you, or you got me. I promise.
I just want to have fun with Jason. He started turning a new leaf when I got pregnant.
Yeah, you know what's
and I was
crazy is
all-
like Marissa has known me for so long that I've always been just 100% into like fitness and work.
Yeah.
Right. So every time we would go out and she'd be like, "Let's drink." I'm like, "No, I'm
You just
good."
always meant business.
I've been good, and now I think like I had a realization of like I'm doing so well that I'm not really enjoying it.
Yeah.
And then I had my daughter, and obviously I don't want to do too many things that are like I used to do. But now when I do go out, if we go to Vegas, it's like, you know what, fuck it. I'm already like half the bottle deep in Casamigos. Like, let's go. But then there was some other shit there that I didn't know, and I was fucked.
And you
But-
come here like, did you order a pay-per-view movie? I was all,
Dude, I didn't even know. I didn't even know.
yes, my ass was falling in Vegas. I ordered pay-per-view.
Like it was like I remember we were walking. I didn't even know what my room number was. I had to call some. Yeah, I had to call some for my room
so
number.
funny.
Yeah, so I mean,
Those are good nights.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
I mean,
those are memories.
Yeah, but our flight back was at 8, so we had to be, so we didn't even sleep. My wife and I was slayed up. Yeah, so and then we had to come home to the baby. So it wasn't that much fun at the end
I
of it.
feel like when I went to Vegas, just this past time. Then when I came back, our flight was at 5 a.m. We were trying to go, and then I landed, went to work, then went to the gym and trained 3 people that night too. So literally, I was
Crazy.
dying. Yeah.
No.
So I was so grateful that we didn't go out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I mean, to wrap that up, you guys go to Coachella if you want.
Yeah.
We're like big.
I'm not-
All this circle back.
If you're 50, if you're 60, I feel like if you feel
wanna go, have
if your
fun.
body
Yeah.
can handle it,
yes.
Do
You
it.
can handle
Pace
if you
yourself.
can handle the large crowds, the lines, all of that stuff. Go.
do
have
they
a
let
great
you take
time.
food prep in there?
Yeah. No.
No, I ain't going to Coachella.
That's the thing.
But if you camp, when I went to Coachella, we camped, and so that's what's kind of cool because we were able to like go back for our drinks or
I
eat
keep
and-
hearing like now
Oh.
like all these like EDC, even like raves, like it's better to camp because
Yeah.
like
Guys,
you
all
can
of
just
that just sounds so exhausting.
Yeah.
Just the camp, then we got to go back and we're gonna eat, and then we're gonna go back
I'm
to the
with you.
festival, and then like no,
You
yeah.
lost me on camping.
You lost me at camping.
But it
You
was
lost
like
me
such
if
a
you
lost
short
me at camping.
distance.
You did.
Like,
I'll go stay somewhere, and maybe I'll meet you at the party, and
Yeah.
we'll do the pre-Coachella parties and all that stuff. But
Like how fucked up are my shoes gonna get if I wear like certain shoes? Like,
and then
they're
it
gonna
comes
get
April, and
fucked up.
Angie's like, "Let's go to Coachella." I'm like, "Okay, bye."
yeah, I'm like, she's gonna be there.
I know.
She'll be there for
Here's the
sure.
secret.
It's gonna happen. I promise. I already know.
3 months later, Amber's story is that we're gonna replay this episode right here. This is a good one actually because all of us now are entrepreneurs in our own way. What's the worst advice you've ever received? Like the worst business advice, life advice, relationship advice you've ever received?
Let me think.
I know you ain't getting all good advice, so
But
maybe
I think for my problem a lot of the times too with me is I don't ever speak to anybody about what I'm gonna do. I just do it. So I don't get a lot of advice.
about relationship
really,
advice?
Because
Relationship. Oh, he'll change.
okay,
Okay, well there you go.
let me tell you, it's bad. I just did this post where like the best thing I ever did was not tell people what I did, and all my best friends were like, bitch, you never told anybody what you did. Like you're always so I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. I've always been private. So let me just think.
I think like when I first started, somebody was like, "Oh, just be careful and don't fully commit." I'm like, "What?"
Like have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Like no, you can't have a.
Yeah.
can't
no.
have that. And
yeah. I mean, I would say that's mine. And I may get a lot of shit for this, but if you have a plan B, then your plan A is gonna fail.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So like the worst advice I ever got, and it wasn't like they were trying to set me up for bad advice. I think they genuinely thought it was good advice, but they were like, "Hey, make sure that you have a backup plan or another means to make money in case this gym thing doesn't work out."
Yeah.
All right, that's what I heard. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. But there's so many times where we were struggling, and there was bad times that I did get offers actually, because I have a corporate gym background. So during COVID, a big gym offered me a huge role with the company, and it was going to be a salary, and I was going to do everything. And I even contemplated it because I was like, okay, God, it's some normalcy. But I'm like, that's not what I got into
That's not
this
what you
for.
want.
Yeah.
But you know what? Even to piggyback on that, Jay's been approached by, I mean, in that time, we'll say off the record,
God.
you know, but he was even like, there was a time where he was like, well, if Marissa can't come with me, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And to me, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
you know?
Loyalty.
Like,
One,
Nah, I mean,
yeah, no,
no, and
loyalty.
it's true because
Yeah.
you know, like I like went all in with that, and just
Yeah.
knowing that somebody still has your back like that, you're
That's
just like,
great.
yeah, and that's the
Yeah.
thing is like she was very comfortable, or she was good where she was at, and she took a risk and a pay cut to do what we're doing then. And I mean, who would I be if I'm like, hey, I got this new opportunity,
Right.
And it was a big time, it was a really big influencer that's like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm gonna start opening gyms, like I know I'd be interested in to partner up with you in this. And I'm like, okay, but I come with a partner,
Right.
you know, and they're like, oh, well, and it never came to fruition. I did entertain, I had a meeting about it, I talked to them, I talked to the business partner, and I'm like, well,
yeah,
I need to find a spot for my other partner. And I told
Yeah.
her like, hey, this is a good opportunity if it goes through. And she's like, well, you don't have to. I said, Marissa, I already mentioned your name, trust me.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that it's like, even with trainers, like if I tell you I'm going to do something for you,
you're gonna do
You're
it.
I
gonna
follow
do it.
through, because that's all you really have.
I think bad advice for me, just in life in general, is anybody who's trying to tell me, like if I'm doing something and they try to tell me, I get the balance thing, right? Like we're always like, oh, you need to have balance. But I think for me, it's when I have a goal that I'm trying to obtain, and I'm really like focused on it, and someone's like, oh, it's okay, you can like chill, or you can just do this, or even when it comes to diet, it's fine, you can have the ice cream, you can have the, like those things, those are setbacks to me. And then you like it, granted, you have to have the will, the mindset and the willpower to just ignore it and still, you know, remember your goals. But I think that's just like bad advice and just negativity that I don't like. I would rather somebody be like, yeah, you're right, you're like, you gotta go, like do it, don't have that, don't do this, like keep focused, you know.
Well, this is the thing I always look at. Who's telling me this? Right. So
My best friends.
No,
I'm
right.
just
So
kidding.
like, so for instance, like when I'm dieting and people are like, oh, you can have this, like just have a little bit. Am I trying to attain their body? No.
Right.
If someone in business is like, hey, dude, you're working way too much. Are you an entrepreneur that is successful? If I went to any successful entrepreneur right now and I'm like, hey, bro, you know what? I think I'm just gonna get off the gram. You know, it's taking too much of my time. They're gonna be like, well, you're fucking stupid, and because that's what I would tell somebody. That's what I tell people, right? You're not to where you need to be, so why would you do that? I think the advice that we get, I always look at who's telling it to me,
Yep.
and am I trying to emulate them?
Yeah.
Right. I think that's where like the advice I take, okay, thank you, is especially like fitness wise, right? If I'm trying to look like you, I'm gonna listen to you, and that's why. Hence why you're doing well as a personal trainer. But I always think you guys out there that like take advice from people, whether it be your parents, your best friend, significant other, you always got to look, where they want to
Yeah.
be, and is that where I want to be?
Yeah,
Because
like,
if that's not it,
Don't take advice from somebody you don't want to be like, or somebody you don't want to look like. Yeah.
Yeah. Or even that's usually like their own selfish part, right? Like, oh, just have the shot, just drink with me. Like, we're gonna have such a good time tonight, because they want you to have that fun with them.
Yeah.
But you're like, I can have fun without it. Like, I'm here, I'm participating. Like, I don't need to go that extra mile.
Yeah, even with me right now, I'm like juggling 3 different things,
You are.
right? My day job, my brows, and now personal training. And I've heard the thing like, you're doing too much, like chill. And it's like, no, I'm not doing too much. Like, this is what I have to do now in order to get to where I want to be.
Yep.
Like, especially with starting new things, you can't just like, granted, I get the whole, you got to take the leap of faith and just leave that, but that's not smart either, especially where we're at now. So yeah, I think you just have to like Jason said, don't take advice from somebody you don't want to be like.
Yeah.
Or live like.
yeah, because I've had a lot of people give me advice, and then I talk to someone that I actually look up to, and they're like, no,
Yeah.
that'd be a horrible idea to do
Yeah.
that. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Okay. So I mean, yeah, the worst advice I ever had was have a plan B. That's probably the worst. Yours is he'll change. And this is actually a question on here. Do you think a cheater can ever change? And
In the same relationship?
No.
it just says, do you think a cheater could ever change?
Well, no, like I'm saying, like maybe like if I'm not gonna lie, I've cheated on.
Well, I was
on
gonna
some-
say, so this question goes back to, we did a podcast, I think it was with Jasmine and and Mama D,
Mama D.
and we talked about, and I talked about like how my ex girlfriends I cheated on a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm married now,
Right.
so I did kind of DM me a little bit about like what the situation was, but so yeah, it's an ex boyfriend that cheated. They broke up, and then
Oh,
they're
same
and,
relationship.
Oh, so it's
and
the
then
same
they're, and then they're
relationship.
and then they're back together. Yeah.
Has it been?
I don't
There's
have the
so many
specifics.
levels.
It's hard because here's the thing. It's like, can somebody change? Absolutely. You
Yeah.
don't ever want to say they can't change, right? But at the end of the day, like,
Can
can she forgive that
Yeah.
and let that go?
Exactly.
Or is she always going to keep bringing that up? Because if you keep bringing that up, guess what? He's going to cheat again. He's going to do it again.
Yeah.
So it's like, are you willing to forgive that and let it go and help your relation, like work
Yeah.
through the problems and help that relationship get strong again, and just trust that he's not going to do it again, because somebody's going to cheat no matter
Yeah,
what. You can't
100%.
control that.
Yeah.
So it just really just depends on what you're willing to do and how much trust you're willing to give that person again. But I guess you don't know until,
every situation's so different.
Yeah.
I told her yes.
Yeah. Well, of course you did.
of course,
What
'Cause you
the-
changed.
Because you changed. No,
Yeah, I mean, I told her absolutely, but it to
I think
me,
it takes.
But
a
you
different
change with a different
Yeah,
relationship.
relationship,
And I
true.
think
Yeah.
that's what it takes,
That's-
because that's what it
you're
took
right.
for me too. Like
Right.
now I'm like, hell no, I'll never cheat. Like,
Right.
you know, because I wouldn't want to lose her because of what's happened in past relationships. But yeah, in the same relationship, I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Really?
because then you're always going to go back to like, well,
You
he's
did
not
this.
answering his phone. The last
Yeah.
time he didn't answer his phone,
It's just-
A,
And
B,
not-
C,
not
it's
only
just
that,
like,
It's
for
already
him-
tarnished. And
Yeah,
just like,
for him, it's gonna be like, okay, she trusts me again. Like, it's gonna be easy for him to do it again. You know?
Yeah.
man, that's a demon mentality right there, bro. Shit.
this is why I just don't even date. I
Have
just
you ever,
don't
have you ever cheated?
I've never cheated. I've been cheated on.
Have you ever cheated?
I've been cheated on as well.
You've never cheated? You've
I've been
never
cheated
had.
on.
If I was in a relationship, like we all had our fun.
And I'm talking about, I'm talking,
Yeah,
I'm talking
like,
about
yeah.
younger Amorous. Like,
Younger
Yeah.
Amorous has been in like
multiple talking
Options.
and like
Yeah.
and I've talked, but I've never like cheated on
Yes.
somebody.
If you were
No.
my boyfriend,
okay, so
Yeah.
so if
I talked
you're
to a
talking
few
to a
people.
guy and you guys are going out on dates, I guess is it you don't consider it cheating if you talk to other people because you're not exclusive?
Exactly.
Well, if you're
I
not my
don't-
boyfriend and we're just dating, I could talk
Yeah.
to whoever I want.
Bruh.
But are we
Oh.
dating?
Bruh.
Are we? When
Stop.
No, I agree with that.
So if me and you, we were dating and we were going out and we were
Are we
hanging out on the
exclusive,
weekend.
or did I just meet you?
I mean, we haven't had that talk. Like, we haven't said like we're exclusive.
But you
But
guys been
but
hanging out
you
for
know,
like a couple
but we've
months.
been hanging out for
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I'm not going to talk to anybody
Oh,
else.
okay.
Yeah.
What if
We-
I just
we've been
met you and
hanging
I
out
went on a
for-
date yesterday and then someone? But granted, I don't date, so you're asking the wrong person. I don't even, like guys don't even. I haven't went on a date. I couldn't even tell you when. And I was talking about this because my friend Eddie makes fun of me, and he's just like, "I'm gonna make a fake dating app of you," and I'm like, "No, you're not. I've never been on a dating like app or none of those things." But when I look around or when I've been around, I'm just like, I realize I'm not attracted to any, at least in this time of my life.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not attracted to anybody. Nobody has like caught my attention where I'm like, oh, that, like, I just don't even think about it. Cause especially people just gross me out now too, just where we're at and how people
Nobody
are.
shoot your shot at Adam.
And
Yeah.
just
Because yeah.
don't.
Nah,
Sit
it's
down.
now.
Don't, you will.
Yeah.
I'm such
She
a
said
friendly
you will.
Yeah, honestly, because I'm such a friendly person too. And so like I like to make friends and I have a lot of
They
guy
mistake
friends.
that
And people, yeah,
The minute they cross that little line or even try to like
this is at this point in your life is
I
where
will
you're gonna
just
meet the love of
ignore
your
you,
life.
and I will
Watch.
just ghost, and I'm
I
not
agree
even
with
your
that.
friend anymore, just because
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh.
No,
Yeah.
I love it. I think kind of what Ziggy said. I think you're like in a different phase in your life where you're just so immersed in your business right now. Like it's you, which is great, which you should be.
Right.
And then I think the person that does come along, I think is going to be a business minded person.
Yeah.
Maybe not be the same field, but you guys can have those conversations. Because I'll tell you what, Amorous,
So he's coming soon
when yeah,
because you're not looking.
maybe he may want his brows down. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm emotionally unavailable. No.
But I tell you what, like even Ziggy knows because I've told him like when we had you on the first podcast, my DMs blew up like, "Hey, bro, who is this girl? Is she single?" So you're a very sought after piece.
And I would never even know that.
So
I wouldn't. I'm like, that's
so
right. But
you don't get a lot of DMs.
I don't
lie.
I promise you, I don't. I get like random stuff and some stuff I don't open, but people think that I get asked out on dates all the time. And I'm like, there's got to be something that they're just, I don't. My DMs don't get
She's
blown up
probably
like
just
that.
shut down everybody. All the guys that follow her, she's probably shut down already.
So they were like, I'm
Yeah.
not
I
gonna
really
try
don't.
it on.
Like, I don't even have like a roster or potentials. Like I don't have nothing. Like let me tell you, my phone is dry. Look, I've been here.
My phone's dry. It's
I've been
coughing.
here since 11 and no text messages. Let me just tell you, like this is honest. Like you know,
That's crazy.
I
Yeah,
know.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, me and Ziggy and I were talking about it, and like, I think you had left, and it was like, I did like a story of you, and someone was like, "Oh, bro, she's my crush," or "Oh, is she single?" And I'm like, I showed him. He's like, "Yeah, bro, I could imagine the amount of people that."
It's so fun.
And then yeah,
I
I'm
get
not
I
crazy-
get asked
I'm
a lot
crazy,
about
so
you.
I don't since I don't have the time to be a crazy girlfriend because I just don't. I'm a crazy best friend. Like Angie, she's in Mexico. I'm like, why haven't you posted? Why aren't you texting? I'm checking her location. That's where my time goes. But no, yeah, I don't. I'm telling you, yeah. I couldn't even tell you. And then the thought of going, I was thinking this.
The
I
thought
was
of dating
the
scares
thought
you?
of dating or meeting somebody new and going on a date gives me so much anxiety. I think I will be so awkward. I think I will turn somebody off so way because I would just be like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I would just be, it would just be, it would just not, I don't see
That's
it going
hilarious.
well.
what would be your ideal date? Like, if I know you don't want to, let's just say, what would be like the ideal date for you?
If let's say I think that I would want to, first of all, I would want to go on a date with somebody that I kind of already know that I built like a friendship with, just so that it's not like weird.
Awkward.
Yeah, like, or awkward.
It's gonna be awkward no matter what.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Because even if you're friends now,
Yeah.
if
'Cause
we're-
now it's like a
on that
different
first
level.
on a
Yeah.
date, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Sitting at
mean,
the table and you're like,
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be awkward no matter
So
what. But
here's a funny story. One time, not too long ago, somebody hit on me, and I realized I'm like, you're fucking weird, Amaris. Like you're a nerd.
How did they hit on you? Like, what did they do
They
though?
asked me a question, right? And it was it,
is this DM or in
it's
person?
probably an inappropriate question. It was in person. It's an inappropriate question for me to say. But it was about being vegan, right? And I don't want to say the question because it's probably inappropriate for the podcast. But
no, say it.
okay, so
we in a
somebody was
sex
like,
terrible idea right here.
literally, somebody asked me a question and they're just like, "Oh, you're vegan. Oh, do vegans taste better?" And I was like,
Oh, whoa.
first of all, but this
That's
is like
aggressive.
and I was like, yeah, like that, and I didn't know, and I'm so just like,
That's
and I'm giving
aggressive.
this, listen, I'm giving scientific facts. Like, well,
Oh.
it depends on what somebody eats because I'm just thinking they really want to know, like they're just curious about. And
Amorous.
Totally
they
went over.
literally were like, Angie, I just kind of hit on your friend, and like it's just.
Bro, but that's not hitting on someone. That's,
That's-
a
yeah.
creep, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
if
they
he,
didn't
if he
mean it
meant
in a creepy way. We were in a conversation, right? And it was like the way it wasn't just that. It was
Okay, it
just,
wasn't like they
other
came out at
things.
you like, hey, what it tastes like.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be creepy. It was just like asking questions because the whole time I was awkward. It wasn't just that. It was other things that I was saying. I was just like, Angie's like, she's a fucking nerd, dude. Like that's why she's a nerd. She's weird. And I'm just like, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm just. Just don't date me.
This-
Can we have like a speed dating episode with Amaris?
if
Yeah.
Amorous would
Oh my
allow me
God,
to,
can
I
we
would
do
love to bring
that?
suitors in here.
I'm not just don't date me.
I would.
No, let's do like a
Great time though. I'm
5 minute.
fun.
No, so what I would do, and I would love to do this, is have a camera outside here and have a camera here and have them come to the door,
Yeah.
and have her ask questions,
Yeah.
to people. But I don't know. I know
And you
Amorous.
have to go on a date with
I'm
whoever.
like,
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm a great time. I'm fun.
Yes, like the fun.
I'm fun. You know, I'm like, I think sometimes I'm too dorky though, maybe too. Like
No,
silly.
I-
Like I'm silly. Like I'm goofy.
I think
Yeah.
you need to
And
find someone that.
sometimes we'll post things and we're just like, dude, we're never getting laid for this. Like, for just this. Like we're coming out with old lady freaking wigs and we're just being stupid. Like,
Oh my God.
right now we're detectives.
Dude, I said I even told you, like, if you guys like came out with like a costume, like that Halloween costume would be like the shit. Everybody would be like, I'm gonna dress like Angie and Amorous, like detectives. What was it called? Hood detectives or
Listen,
The voice.
homegirl investigation.
homegirl investigation?
We're in a city near you guys. But yeah. It's coming. It's going to be real.
No, I believe it.
We have a
because
case right now. It's crazy.
we
You
have a-
see me talking like that. How old are you? Are you 35?
Draw my cheeks right now.
Telling you.
So go
Could take
back.
a
So
special
what?
person.
So what would be your perfect date then? Like, what would be like an ideal date for you? Not individual, but where would a guy take you where you'd be like, oh, I'm feeling this. Like, this is cool. Dinner? Are you the typical dinner, flowers type thing? Or are you like, let's go painting? Let's go with
Honestly,
wine.
I would like to be. I would like to go on an adventure somewhere, probably. Like, I think, yeah, you could go to dinner and like that's cool. Like,
On a first date?
I love to eat. Well, no, on a first date, I love to eat. That's what I'm saying. I love dinner and like that's cool. You can talk, you can have a conversation.
Bro, just don't date her, guys.
But I mean, dinner's cool, but I don't know. Take me to Disneyland.
That's an expensive.
Damn.
It is, but I want to do
She wants
something
something
fun,
with
or
money.
like we could go, or like I just want to do something fun.
No,
That's what I want to
Disneyland
do.
would be fun. But would you only date a vegan guy?
No,
No, okay.
I've never dated a vegan
No,
guy.
because I asked another, because we have a bunch of vegan trainers, and one of them was like, I don't think I could date a guy that eats meat because it's too hard for her
Listen,
to.
I've been vegan for over 17 years.
Really?
Somebody can eat
Holy
steak.
shit.
I've cooked meat for my ex. Like that doesn't bother me because how you know what I mean? And honestly, yeah, meat doesn't bother me at all. I can be in front of it. I can go somewhere. It's past that. I've had an ex that turned vegan like for me, but little bit, but I've never actually dated somebody who was like full vegan. No, they don't have to be vegan.
Okay, now a lot of guys are going to be back in your
Now they're
DM.
Yeah.
in your DM.
You save
Right
yourself.
now.
You save yourself a lot. Let me get another good one. And this one actually, I mean, this one's a little harder to answer. Maybe take a little bit longer. Is what's the hardest thing you had to learn and unlearn in your business journey, Marissa?
Not everybody wants your best interests, or has your, or you. How's that better? You might want it more than somebody else wants it for them. I don't know. I think of our
what's-
trainers.
I mean, well, just think businesses. Right? I mean, things that I've learned is that not everybody's for you, and so I've learned that I can't push situations and I can't push people into situations that just isn't for me or for them because it turns into a bad situation. Meaning, like, I really want this trainer to do well, or I see so much potential, or I put all my eggs into that person's basket because there comes a season where they're not as loyal as most are.
The loyalty's not always returned.
That's what I've learned, and I'm okay with that because now I approach relationships different. I approach people different. I approach a lot of things different because I came to the realization that not everybody's for me. Not everyone's meant to be for me for a certain amount of time. What I had to unlearn is to not be so emotionally invested in business.
That's the one.
Right? Meaning, like, my worth isn't how well my business is doing or isn't doing. So when my business is thriving, watch your ego because it could be taken away from you in a second. And the highs of my highs when we opened the gym, I don't think I was ever overly ego driven, but it was a little bit of like, it felt good to be recognized for the hard work I did. But as soon as that was taken away, right, during COVID, everybody that rocked with me left.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And
2019, we came out with like a bang.
I mean, we came out. I mean,
effed up the
dude,
gym,
if you go down the 10 freeway, you'll see a fence there. They put that because we were shooting content on the freeway. Like we were we were just like content monsters, dude. Right. And I would invest so much, and everyone's like, oh, I love being here. Thank you so much for helping me grow my business. And the moment
you couldn't
COVID
help
hit,
them anymore.
the moment I couldn't help them
They just
anymore,
left.
they left. Right. And I understand people have bills to pay, they have stuff to pay, but I guess I'm just really cut from a different cloth where, like, if the ship's going down, bro, we
We're all
gonna
going down.
swim
Gonna figure it out
Yeah.
together.
and that's just the way I am. And I had to unlearn.
Yeah.
I had to unlearn that that's my worth, right? Because then when everybody left, I was like, well, I'm a piece of shit, right? Because then I probably didn't do what I promised them to do and stuff like that. So I had to really unlearn to, like, separate, I guess, my own personal worth from like what I do.
Emotion and business.
Emotion and business. And so that's what I had to unlearn. But I also learned that at the same time, those people, they served the purpose. They were with me. They did well. There's never any hard feelings. I've talked to a lot of them too. And it was hard, but a lot of them that did leave, we did build something. And I think COVID made a lot of people do crazy things.
Yeah.
Right. So when we kind of revisited it, I was like, look, I didn't
It's
know.
like survival mode.
Yeah. It was survival mode. But then that's the best indicator of people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like you,
Yeah,
like
I get it.
like guys, right? Like when we go out to a bar or we go out somewhere and there's a fight and there's everybody like, do I see him jumping in or is he kind of like
Right.
it's survival mode when
Right.
things are really, really in the dirt?
Yeah.
Like who's there? And like when I looked up, it was Marissa.
Yeah.
So I've learned to build relationships without expectations.
Yeah.
Right. And then once you kind of prove to me that you're someone that I can invest in, then I do. But if it doesn't, no hard feelings, and I think people get more angry at me for things that they did to me.
Yeah.
And I think because I've realized that they don't know how to handle their own emotions.
Right.
So they take it out on me. And I'm like, okay, I'm okay with that now.
Yeah.
And that took me a while and a lot of growing
People
up.
get mad when they don't get a reaction out of you.
Yes.
And so that makes them feel a certain way about themselves. Like, tell me you're mad at me. Tell me I fucked up. And it's just like, no, you did what you did.
Yeah.
And
It's fine.
it's okay. We're okay. Like, but you don't need to be part of my circle anymore.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
okay with that.
And that doesn't mean like we'll never talk.
No.
But it's just like, you know, there's
The
there's
trust
things,
has been broken.
So those are like the things that I had to learn and unlearn. I mean, what about just regular, like just you're a father of 3, father of 3, baby mama, new thing. What are some things that you had to unlearn or learn about yourself during your transition from now being like a videographer full time and stuff like that?
Damn.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
It
I
is
don't know,
because
yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of it is self reflection as well.
Well, I think
constantly evolving,
I
too.
think one thing would be is that I know you said everyone's not for you, but you're also not for everyone.
100%.
You know, like you could be looking for something completely different, and I know I can't provide that. Even when it comes to, let's say, brows, and you want your brows this way. Well, this is my technique, and this is how I do it. And granted, I would love to give you that look, but like, I'm not for you, you know, and or you know, just those things.
No,
I
you're
think
right.
just knowing that you're not for everybody, or somebody can come in and they want this goal, or even when it comes to personal training and they have a health issue or they have these things, like, okay, I'm probably not going to be the best for you. You're going to need, you know, to go somewhere else, which is so hard to turn away business and build but it's okay because
it
if
shows
you
a
can't
confidence
provide,
level
it
on
does
you too,
because
though.
if you can't provide 100% and give somebody exactly what they need, then that's still a disservice to yourself too,
Yeah.
because now you're making somebody unhappy or you're disservicing them.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think just knowing that you're also not for everybody.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good one.
Yeah.
What about you, Marissa? What are some things you had to learn, unlearn?
You don't know everything. It's okay to, I think,
Oh, yes,
it's
that's a
okay to
good
ask
one.
for help, you know? Like, I think for a long time I was trying to do everything on my own, or, you know, you're independent, you're an entrepreneur. Oh, I got this, I got that. Like, but you're not good at everything. So ask for help and let go. Let go to let
I had
in.
to learn that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's hard to feel like that because you're just like, oh, I could do
I got
better.
it. Oh, yeah.
I got it. Or I already know. No, you don't know actually.
Yeah.
Like even with like anything, like, oh, I know. Or because, but it's like, no, you don't.
And I Google on the
Yeah,
side.
yeah. Like you don't know, and you're
Google
not
for
the
the class.
best. You're not like you could always be better, and you
Yes.
don't know. That's why I think that one thing with coming into this new season is just like being a student again and just unlearning those things that you thought you knew, and just relearning to be better.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good one though. But
Yeah.
that was like, I had to answer because I read them before, so I had time to think. So it wasn't like, oh, let me open my phone. I read that question and I was like thinking like, what do I?
He wrote down the
And-
answer.
He already knew.
If you're on YouTube,
notes.
don't find my
He's
phone.
reading his notes.
Yeah.
We're all
Chapter 3. No, I mean, and that's I feel like the hardest thing, but the best thing you could ever do is like is self-reflection.
Yeah.
Like, where did I go wrong? And I was just telling Marissa, I had a conversation with the trainer before I walked in here, and this trainer had a lot of personal issues outside the gym that they're going through. And I was like, well, let's come in and talk. Let me help you out. Let's see what we can do. And then they messaged me back, you know what? This is something that I promised you XYZ. I'm going to do XYZ. It's on me to follow through. And I was
Yeah.
like, wow, that's so big of you to be like, not blaming the universe or blaming the world or blaming whatever your circumstances are, like, oh, I'm poor, oh, you know, my phone got, because you know a lot of people's Instagrams are getting hacked. Oh, my Instagram got hacked and I had all the messages on there, so all those new leads I had are gone. And like, instead she was like, I'm gonna figure it out, but I will meet with you so you can help me get ways to figure it out. She goes, I don't want you to bail me out, but I want you to help me get out of this hole. And I was like,
And that makes you want to help her even more.
well, it was like, wow, that's growth.
Yeah.
That's
that
growth.
was my mentality. Like before, like I'd always be like, whoa, I don't have this because of the way I grew up. I don't have this because of what happened to me. You know, I'd always like put that much negative energy into me, and I'm just like, once I learned that like everybody has shit that they've gone
Bad
through.
shit happens to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like and they're doing good, so it's like, okay, bad shit happened to me, fuck it, like I got past it, so just get mentally past it too, and you know, start something new. And like, that's once I figured all that out, and I'm like, okay, I've had bad shit happen to me, who cares? You know, nobody cares. Nobody's gonna be sitting here and helping me, you know. I gotta do shit by myself. And once I learned that is when I am like, you know, getting the progress that I've gotten so far.
100%. And yeah, I mean, that victim mentality, and that goes, I mean, we could talk.
The victim mentality.
Yeah.
And
That's
we,
a
we
whole
yeah, I
other-
mean, whether it
A whole
be
nother show,
race,
yeah.
race, gender,
Right. 1,000%.
age,
Everything.
age, you know, what kind of income you came up. I mean, we were having a conversation with people that we know, and their kids are in high school, and I was like, oh, what first car are you gonna get them? And one of the responses was like, oh, like a BMW 3 Series.
What?
Like, it's a little car. And I was like,
Damn.
I was all, Dacia, you're getting Dad's Honda Civic. that
right.
we
So, but
currently have."
Right, right.
like my first car, no, but I had to work for my first car. And so, like, I always tell people, I don't think of it as, and growing up poor, we all grew up, you know, not rich.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that gave us tools that I utilize now, like whether it's being grateful for something, or knowing how much something costs and
Yeah.
how hard I have to work for it. So like you said, that hindered my success. I think it helps their success because I could never get bailed out. And I always known that. Like, I can't go to my parents and be like, hey, can I borrow 5K?
Right.
Like, that's they don't even have, you know, they
don't-
Yeah.
they don't have that accessible
Right,
to get to
same.
me. So it's one of those things that, like, it's a fight or flight that I've learned and that I stay with. And someone told me, like, you've been on survival mode since you started the gym. And I go, honestly, I've been on survival mode since I knew I was going to do this, and it's never changed. But it's not a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing, because now I haven't learned to balance it, but I've learned to understand it. It's like an animal. I've
Right.
learned to kind of know when I need to turn it on and when I need to turn it off. And I think it's helped me a lot.
Yeah, no,
It's
definitely.
a lot in business.
Yeah.
For sure.
But to speak on what you said, Ziggy, that's true. I mean, I can't tell you how important it is for people to be like, I'm not the victim. This is just a circumstance. Everyone has a circumstance, and you know, I'm going to overcome it. So that's a huge one. This one, are you guys big readers?
No.
No?
Readers?
Are you
Like,
a big
always
reader?
want to be
Like
I'm
reading
always like,
books?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
reading
read
books,
this
yeah.
whole
Yeah.
book.
Okay. So this one, and then I'm going to give you my 2 cents on it. Like, what some of your favorite books you've read. So let me preference this. They put, what are your favorite books you've read? But also, I've been trying to get into the industry for 3 years. What's the best way to get in? So that's like kind of like a 2-part question. So the way I look at it is, this person's been reading books to try to get into the training, to try to get into the industry.
Oh, okay.
So that's the way I kind of took it. But what's your favorite? What books do you
Well,
read?
I would say this when people ask me like what kind of like what are like recommend me some good book. To me, I feel like books are so personal because somebody can recommend me a book and that doesn't like I have no interest in that book,
Yeah.
right? So I think for anybody, it's just like what are you what are you why are you reading?
Right.
What is your intention going into reading? Like what are you looking for? Because some people I don't read novels. I
No,
read
yeah.
things, but a lot of people do. There's readers who read like novels and books. I don't read that. Like that doesn't.
There's no purpose to them, to me.
It doesn't do anything
Yeah.
to me. It doesn't stimulate me in any single way. But a lot of the books that I read are, some people will say they're not really self-help books either, because I read stuff about like the brain. I read stuff about the functional of the brain, or like psychology books, or I do have books that help you just to be better in everyday life. And then those are the type of books that I read. But I feel like books again are so personal. So I think you just have to figure out what kind of book do you want to read,
Right, right.
and then you know
for that season of your life.
yeah.
No, I mean, I think they are, all those are self-help books.
Yeah.
Because when you learn how someone's brain works, or you learn why people buy things, like everything I read in the past was always sales driven, and it was always
You see, you're reading books on like sales driven
and it was
books.
always behavior, other people's behavior.
Behaviors, yep.
Right. Because no matter what, I don't care what anyone says, like it's kind of like the gray area of training. Like, I'm going to sell you, you're selling training, but what you're really selling is you're selling what you can do for the person. If you're selling a car, you're selling real estate, you're selling people on to come to you for the browse. Right. So everything you do in life is sell. If the guy's trying to get you on a date, he's selling himself
Yeah.
to you. Right. If I'm looking for an investor, I'm selling myself to them, and then I'm pitching the thing. So everything is sales. So everything I read is driven towards sales, communication, behaviors, and stuff. So I think this is what the question is, like self-help books. But everything you said, I feel I put that as self-help. Because
Yeah.
why do you want to know about the
Personal
brain?
development.
Because you
It
want to
is.
know about how you can interact with people better, and
Yeah, or just changing the functionality of like
yourself.
my brain,
Yes.
you know, myself, you know.
this is how I feel about books, and this is why I don't recommend books to people. You guys need to stop fucking reading books. Everybody out there,
do.
stop fucking reading books and start actually applying things that you've learned. Right. So if you read one book, you don't need to read another book about sales. Go apply that information. And then once you apply that information, then you're going to get actual real life experience. And that real life
Right.
experience, you're going to be able to understand maybe someone else's book a little more because it resonates with you. It's hard to take someone that graduated high school, give them a sales book when they've never sold anything. And then they're going to read 5 sales books, and maybe it's not going to make sense to them because they've never done sales. So put the book down and go apply.
That's how I
Put
see
some
it.
action in
But
there.
that goes into like your intention of why you're reading though. Like, are you reading because you want to like, that would be, because I would say don't ever put a book down. Read. But again, if you're reading because you want to, like, for example, you want to be or do sales or be trained,
Right.
and you're just reading for that, but you
Yeah.
just keep reading and reading and reading, and you're not you're not applying yourself, or you're not applying anything that you're reading, or you're not taking action.
Right.
That's like me reading a self-help book and then going on and just being a terrible
I think
person,
that's
too.
why
Like,
I don't read, because
yeah,
I see that a lot on Instagram where somebody's posting a new book like every other week, like, yeah, you know, like it's motivational, or, you know, something about sales or something. And I'm like, bro, you're just doing the same thing you were doing when you read
Yeah,
the first book,
that's-
you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it just goes into the intention.
So I mean, I think for this context, like, of course, continue to read.
Yes.
But I think what I'm saying is, I think most people that follow me are business owners for sure, because I know, like,
Got it.
gym owners, a bunch of
Yeah.
stuff. And I don't have all the answers, but a lot of people are like, well, what books did you read to help you get there?
Got it. Okay.
What's your college education like? Like, they want to know, like, how did you get there? And I always tell people, I got here by doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not get
1,000%
here by
by reading
reading.
a book.
I did not get here off of someone's advice. I got here by making mistakes, correcting my mistakes,
Right.
planning for the future, planning for, and sometimes overcoming things that weren't planned for. So when I say stop reading books, I don't mean like read one book then you're done. What I mean is, if your intent is to read a book to get better at sales, if your
Right.
if your intent is to read that book for self-help, you can't read 10 books on self-help and you don't apply any of it.
1,000%.
Yeah.
So put the second book fucking down.
Yeah.
Let's rephrase
There you
that.
go.
Put the second book down
Apply what the first book said.
and apply what the first book said.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then those
Yes.
other books you read are going to make way more sense to you.
1,000%.
Like when I read sales books now or human behavior book, I could apply it automatically to a situation that I've had. So it's easier for me
Yes.
to grasp that information and be like, oh, that's a good tactic, because I've actually applied
You've
it.
experienced it
I've
too.
applied it multiple times. So like even when we do mentoring for the trainers and they're like, I never thought of that. It's because you haven't had enough consultations.
Right. Mhm.
I know how people react to certain situations. I know how to overcome certain situations. So yeah, books. I mean, I would say if you're starting off and you're just, I mean, most people are finances, Rich Dad Poor Dad's always my favorite book. And I'll read that book another 10 times just because it explains to people the importance of multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that should be taught in schools.
Yeah.
I think people should really learn about passive income. I think people should really be have a passive income and then making money off of something they love and then investing into whether it be property or if you're good in crypto, like the JTAM fits, which isn't. Yeah, but I think the mentality I had coming out of high school, going into college, was I'm going to get a job. That job is going to pay for everything. And I'm good. I'm gonna get a house with them. I'm gonna get a
No.
fucking G-Wagon with that.
Yeah, no.
And then now when I got
realize
into
that,
life,
like-
I'm like, dude, a 9 to 5, depending on the 9 to 5, is not gonna get me those things.
No.
Yeah.
But it's if you want those things, right? But I've learned through work and through other things that we've done is like that passive income, man, you can't beat that.
Right.
You can't beat that. And then so and I do something I love. So
Yeah.
book wise, you guys put the second book
Put
down.
the second book down.
Don't read it until you apply the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, are you into
No, I
or
always
even
try.
audiobooks? Like do you
Yeah. No, I do like a daily read, like, and that's just for like leadership. It kind of just gives you like an intention for the day. But like, I am the worst person at buying a book and then only getting to like chapter 4, you know? So, no.
I don't think I've ever bought a book.
really?
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy you a book.
Yeah.
No,
Now we all know what to buy.
I'm just, yeah. I'm just, I
He's
don't know.
like,
I
"Don't waste
feel
your
it."
money.
Yeah.
no. I mean, honest
not
to
gonna
God,
get
books are great because it's just a different perspective that you never thought of it. And most of these people that do write books are successful.
Yeah.
Like Mark Cuban has a really good book
And you
out
just
too.
get lost in the words too. It's like a way. Like I don't watch TV. I don't really watch movies. I'm not the person who sits at home watch Netflix or anything like that. The time that I do have that I would watch TV, that's when I'm reading.
I don't know. Every time that I've tried to read, my mind just goes somewhere else. Like I can't
Can't stay focused?
No, and not at all.
Maybe you're not reading the right thing.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You're not reading.
You're not
yeah,
reading
yeah.
like something that's actually like stimulating to
Yeah,
you.
that's exactly what it is. And I think once you start to read something that's more in
You
the
get
field, you
addicted.
get addicted. But the difference is I actually applied a lot of the stuff that I read. I mean, I haven't read anything good. I've been recommended some stuff that I probably would read, but to me, I listen to a lot of podcasts. And
That's good too. Yeah,
podcasts are stimulating, but also having good conversation with like-minded business owners. You know, like we'll go out to an event and they'll be like for the people that own business, and we just talk business. And that's kind of like my.
So many
That's
people
even
are
more
like-
valuable.
Yeah. I mean, kind of like what we're doing here. Like, and it's great. I like this formula we have because it's like I've been an entrepreneur for our own business for 4 going on 5 years, somewhere around there. You're 6 months in, right? You've
We're
had
little newbies.
Yeah.
you've had a business, but now you're transitioning to a different
Transitioning,
business. And I think
yeah.
a lot of people are like, I can't make that transition because I'm here. You've done it and you can speak on it, right? A lot of people are like, I have my 9 to 5, so I can't pursue my passion.
Which I do.
You've
I
done it.
have,
Yeah.
and I still do. Like, I still have my 9 to 5 job. I would consider, obviously, like most times it's 8 to 4, but still, I have my 9 to 5 job, and then I'm doing my other things too. And I think that just finding the balance between everything is the biggest struggle. But if it goes back to like, if there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah,
you know, I just make it work. You just gotta make it
I'm
work.
still technically there at my 9 to 5. You know, like I show up whenever I show up, but I still have it. You know, so it's. But in the beginning, when I first started, like I was doing both things, so it's definitely possible. But you just, like you said, where there's a will, there's a way.
Right. And then we have like the mother perspective, and you know, you own a gym and you just had your baby, a new family. So
And again, I would say it took I've been personal trainer now for 11 years, but it took 8 years of hard work to be like, hey, I'm going to step away for 3 months and not feel guilty.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like that was work earned, because I couldn't imagine going back in 6 weeks, you know?
no, you did earn it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's why I didn't bother you. I was stressed the fuck out though.
I'm back.
She was gone. I was stressed the fuck out. But in my head, I was like, she put, you put more than's
put in the
documented,
time.
more than's documented,
Yeah.
whether it even behind the scenes. So, I mean, I want to thank everybody for the questions, first of all. And I love doing these open platforms more. These are podcasts that we're going to do. And we said, hey, we're going to jump on here and do a 30-minute. I know it's way over 30 minutes.
It is.
But
Like
I gotta get to my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
no, but as always, guys, the reason people ask me why I started a podcast in general, and I think I've said this a bunch of times, I've been able to connect really good people with each other on this podcast. I've been able to meet a lot of people. I've been able to educate a lot of people in certain areas that you wouldn't see on my Instagram. So for me, this is never about making an income. I don't even consider this an income. Now we are fully sponsored by Meals by Mal, so that I was paying for every single episode.
Everything was coming out of
Right. So now this allows all of us to have an open platform. So maybe we may hop on a podcast and it's Ziggy and somebody else, or maybe it's Amherst and somebody else. But we always want to come together to kind of, I guess, call it like a homie checkup to see how we're doing. And it's the new year. So, you know, we all work so closely together. And you guys have been so loyal. Our following has grown. And I attribute that to our guests, our awesome guests that we've had, and you guys sharing the podcast. So as always, we thank you guys for that. But we're gonna be a lot more consistent with us meeting together, having dope guests on here for the new year, and just trying to, you know, we're gonna change our format as we go, whether it be amorous blind dating or
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's
Yes, please.
coming soon. But I mean, as always, guys, we just want to thank you guys for just being such loyal listeners. Even if you listen for the first time or you listen and you shut us off, thank you for just even giving us the opportunity. But we have a lot of dope guests in the future, so we look forward to bringing you guys more educational things and things that you really resonate with you. So until next time, you guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.